Well, hello and welcome to the Ocotillo Onslaught 2021 round number 5. This is a Warhammer 40,000 tournament brought to you from Glendale, Arizona. We have 32 players and 5 rounds, and you are here for the final championship round between Donovan Salo and Tyler Hepler. So if you've been following along with us, Donovan was actually in our round 4 video, which you can find on the playlist attached with this one. Rounds 1 through 4 are all available for you to view on YouTube. Donovan has brought a Dark Angels list, which he's 4-0 with at this point, and he's going to be facing off against Tyler's Forces of the Hive Mind, which is also 4-0, and the winner of this will be the overall winner of the tournament. I'm excited for this game because Forces of the Hive Mind is typically viewed as one of the weaker factions. And while Dark Angels is not a weaker faction, is not a weak faction at all, of the sort of modern competitive factions with the most up-to-date 9th edition rules, Dark Angels is generally kind of perceived to be towards the bottom of that heap of codexes, many of which have been featured on the stream this weekend. So it's kind of an eclectic, unusual championship round, which excites me. There will be some interesting stuff to see and view. And if you would like to follow along, you can go ahead and take your smart device and log on to Best Coast Pairings, the Best Coast Pairings app. And you can find the Ocotillo Onslaught, and you can follow with placing, pairing. As results come in, you can get all of that live. And you can actually, on your device as well, get the army lists. So we went over Donovan's list in the previous video, just a really quick recap. It's a mixture of Deathwing Terminators and Ravenwing bikes. He has one very large unit of Terminators with everybody's got combi weapon and lightning claws. So it's got both very good shooting and very good assault. He's backing that up with a bunch of buff characters, Azrael, Ezekiel, a librarian, a Primaris chaplain, right? And then on top of that, he has a bunch of Outriders and Ravenwing bikes and a couple of speeders to provide mobile scoring and shooting support as well. So Donovan's list, it doesn't have a ton of super long range shooting, but in say like the 24-inch range and under, lots of efficient, lots of high number of shots. Tyler's list, on the other hand, is kind of an eclectic forces of the hive mind list. And so really quick, he's going to have a Tyranids detachment, which is going to be Hive Fleet Leviathan, which is one of the lesser seen hive fleets, along with the Swarm Lord, who's excellent, Tyranid Prime, which you don't see very much, 32 Gene Stealers in 2 groups of 6, 10 Hormagaunts, 30 Termagants with Devourers, so they're the shooty Termagants. You usually double shoot them, and it's just an incredible number of shots. Obviously, he has 6 Hive Guard, which no Tyranid player leaves home without, and then 2 units of the Flying Ripper Swarm. So that's the Tyranid half. Oh, I'm sorry. I did miss, and here are the 2 most eclectic things about Tyler's list. He has a Maliceptor and Venom Thropes. So both of those, I mean, the Maliceptor does several crazy things. The Venom Thropes have generally defensive buffs for things around them. Neither of those units are taken very often. They're generally seen to be just kind of too many points for what they actually contribute on the field. So it's amazing that Tyler's going to go at least 4-1 this weekend, and he's in a position at this point to win the whole thing. Tyler rounds out his forces of the Hive Mind list with a patrol of Gene Stealer Cult. And in the Gene Stealer Cult patrol, he's got a Magus, which is the Psyker, and then 2 small units of Acolyte hybrids with blasting charges. So that Gene Stealer Cult patrol gives him several things. One, it gives him access to blips to prevent, pre-game moving or say like flyers coming up over your army in the first turn. So there's some board control and movement control that come out of the blips. The Magus has really, really good powers, the most notable of which is mind control. So the Magus can take over an enemy unit and get them to shoot at their own army, right? So you can take over somebody in the enemy's army and it will shoot another unit in the enemy's army. That's really, really good against a lot of the things in the meta right now, particularly the 2 top dog kind of armies, AdMech and Speedwa, both of which have been on the stream this weekend, are very, very shooty. So to take over one of those units and have it shoot itself is very, very good. And then the Acolytes all have blasting charges, which are a very short range but fairly devastating shooting attack, especially when you combine it with some strategy. So it's super eclectic and interesting. I'm really excited to see it in action. The mission we're going to be playing for this round is Overrun. So it's going to be a normal sort of Dawn of War style deployment, so 12-inch deployment zones along the long edge. There are going to be 6 objectives in play. The primary for this mission, though, in order to score any points, you have to hold 2 objectives. So that's different than anything we've done so far this weekend, where you only had to hold 1. So you have to be in more places on the board to score the primary in this round than what we've played in previous rounds. So I think that's probably enough of me talking and enough prefacing of the game. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the players who are already actually in the middle of deployment. So you can see the dice laid out at the table. The deployment zones are roughly here and here, right? And what that leaves is a 24-inch no man's land in the middle to get from one deployment zone to the other. The deployment's still going on. But as you, the Maliceptor for Tyler is here, center, uh, mostly blocked by this building. It's going to be, you know, you can get angles around this building for shooting, but the Maliceptor is touching these woods, which will then give it a -1 to hit against anything that decides to eventually shoot at it. The rest of Tyler's army seems to be loading up behind this cliff. This cliff is about 12 inches long and about 6 inches high. It blocks an incredible amount of line of sight. And Tyler, because his army has kind of a relatively small footprint, is able to put a big chunk of his army. And it's going to be safe from shooting the first turn from anything really kind of over in this whole section of the board. The only way to get angles on this would be to come down this side and shoot this way, which is very possible. This left-hand side is open, but that requires, you know, sending units away from objectives over on the edges of the table, where it will just take them longer to get back to the middle, which is where most of the action typically happens. Donovan, on the other hand, is loading up partially in the open, honestly. There's some pretty decent firing lanes over the edges of this crate. There's definitely a lot of movement lanes to go through here and get to Donovan's army, and he's really not that far away from the Tyranid army, which is an interesting choice because the Tyranids are extremely fast, and there's Swarm Lord for double movement on the Tyranids, and it's completely possible for the Tyranids to come up here and charge turn 1 or just move block all of Donovan's army turn 1. So we'll see what choices actually get made. The Tyranids don't have a ton of shooting. You know, the most threatening things are going to be the Hive Guard, which don't care about line of sight anyway, right? So these firing lanes won't matter at all to the Hive Guard. But the movement certainly matters. So I'm gonna turn up the players so you can hear them as they finish out their. It looks like they're actually going into turn 1. So here, I'm gonna turn them up, and we're gonna hear the movement phase for Tyler on the top of turn 1.
The outflank is still reserved, so it's turn 2, right? Yes. And it can be on any board edge, is that right?
Well, yeah, but no, it can't be yours, and it can't be in your deployment zone on the second turn.
Okay. Against the Grippers, or Slashers. They do 12 days. And they can't advance a charge.
I can't, but remember, I move 17 first turn with a Raven Wing unit. Any Raven Wing unit.
It's always your first turn.
Yeah, it's just that it's their doctrine, so I can move people back so that I can move farther.
You're totally fine. I'm going to put these secondaries in the mission. Oh, sure.
So we had to the last, we're doing Stubborn Shines, to the last, and then Banners. Yeah, no problem.
So you said you can move 17, right?
Yeah. 17 in charge or 23 in shoot.
That's fine. Shooting's fine. I just don't want the charge.
No problem.
So just make it just outside of 12 there. That's the intention. 10 plus 7.
So while they're doing movement in turn 1, let's take a second to talk about the secondary objectives that each player chose. So Tyler chose Retrieve Octarius data. So Tyler is going to have to send little units to different quarters of the board. So the board is divided up into quarters like this. For this specific objective, you can't be near the middle. but Tyler will have to send units to do actions in this quarter, and you'll get more points the more quarters that he sends out to do actions. Okay, so Tyler thinks he'll be, kind of all over the place, or have units, particularly cheap little units like maybe his Hormagaunts that he can send to places and do actions. Or the Rippers are infantry as well. The Rippers are amazing Retrieve Octarius data picks, because especially the winged Rippers can go into deep strike and then just come down in the corners and retrieve Octarius data. He also picked Stranglehold, which is holding 3 objectives at the same time as you hold more than your opponent. This is an excellent choice for mostly because you can complete it on your turn. You can do it really without, no matter what your opponent does. So if Tyler can hold 1, 2, 3 objectives, and I just either kill off some of Donovan's, or even just run units up to contest, he'll get points for Stranglehold. And then Assassination is killing enemy characters. Donovan has 4 characters, I believe, in his list. They actually are pretty tough, and they're inside a very tough kind of block of an army. And so in the last round against Dan, Dan, I think, only got 6 points on this objective. We'll see here if Tyler is able to do any better. As far as Donovan's objectives, so he has To the Last, which is keeping his most expensive things alive, which will be generally pretty easy, right? So that's going to be the big Terminator block, and I believe the other 2 are characters who are going to be, again, hiding behind the Terminator block. So typically a high-scoring one. Raise the Banners. Donovan is going to have to try and get all over the board and do actions to rate what we do call raise banners on these objectives. So it's very likely that in the first 2 turns, he'll raise banner here, and then probably this one as well. And then the onus is going to be on Tyler to send units up to contest and take away those objectives to prevent Donovan from getting a high score on the banners. And then I must admit here, I'm unfamiliar with this Dark Angels specific one, Stubborn Defiance. I can't comment it on other than Codex specific ones tend to be good. So based off of no other knowledge, I would expect the score here to be reasonably high for Tyler. Excuse me, Donovan.
So they keep the advance roll that I had.
Should have taken grind. Look at all this trash.
Yep. I think you didn't take it, so I'm just gonna throw it at you.
Yeah, no, why not?
Actually, we'll just tow into the train. Yeah, just to maybe make a couple extra shots. We're lucky. Obviously, none of that. Alright. Alright. And then we'll go into the second phase. I think that movement's fine, so second phase we'll do list. So I don't think he's actually able to cast anything.
Okay. I can't stop back there, so go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll do Catalyst. It's good. Okay. Put that on D-Sealers.
Is that the advance in charge?
No, that's the aftermarket.
Okay.
We'll find out still. Still have 6s though.
Who gives the 6s back there?
Just anything in Synapse.
Oh.
It's just part of Synapse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Alright, and then we'll go into shooting. So we will spend 1 to 6s do extra hits. Where's your command squad?
Back here, Forest.
The Terminators. Because I'm running on 4, right?
Yeah.
And bikes, you can transhuman, right?
All you need to do is select or one of the
Well, real damage. Actually, we're gonna go into your bikes. We're gonna do half into the attacks and half into the outriders.
Alright.
They're not in dead.
Okay, so these I'm going to transhuman at -1.
Cool. See if I get it.
Okay.
I do. I'll go back up. So I'll do the attack bikes first.
Sure.
Yep.
Are these the little bikes?
Yeah, the attack.
Okay.
So 1/6, so that goes in.
Alright.
And then on 3, that's right. So this one's AP3, these are AP2.
Here's the AP3. No good. And here's the 2 AP2s. None of them are good.
Okay, so first one. 2, I'll keep it.
Okay. Save one.
Okay, so this 2, I'll reroll to try to get 3.
Okay.
Nope, 2.
Okay. Save one again. I don't. That's a kill.
Last one is 3.
Okay. Last one. Don't save any of those. Okay.
And the second shot's into the other bike. So they're good, and then 1/6. And then on 4, right? So 2 AP3.
Force to hit.
3 AP2.
You did force to hit, right?
Yeah, these guys.
Right. Yeah. How many?
We got 2 AP3s, 3 AP2s.
These. One good and one more.
Because they get a 5 up.
4 up.
Oh, 4 up.
There's Azrael's right there.
So we got 23.
Yeah.
Okay, so first one, 2.
Okay. Okay.
Next one is 3.
Okay.
And then next one is 2. I'll reroll that from the buff. 3.
Okay.
Alright, so we will do it one more time.
Okay.
Alright. Let's do.
So what does that cost?
That's 2. What, how many are left in each?
2 and 1.
1 attack?
Yeah.
So we'll do. Big 4 to the attack. Okay. And 2 more dice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Grease. 2 6s. Back in. And then on Grease. So 4.
2 to 0.
First one. 3. Okay. Are they still -1?
Yeah, I mean, it's same face, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because that's a strat that you use?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought they were. Okay. So we got 3 AP2s.
Have you not been rolling force to wound them?
No. Oh, yeah, you're right. On that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that one is on 2.
Okay. Do you remember if you did it on the last one?
I don't.
Okay. Alright. They'll both.
1. Next one.
Dead? Yeah. Okay.
Alright. Again, shitty face. I'll remove the G-Stealers. We'll just get them in behind the train.
Okay.
Or the spirit. I'll take a longer charge, but it's fine.
Are you at 6 or 5 CPs?
6.
6.
So can you help me figure out what that charge is then?
Okay, sure. Where's your farthest guy? Just point to where
Point
he is.
he's really, literally right
Oh,
there.
right behind it?
Yeah.
It's over 7, so you need 7.
7?
Yep. Let's see. I guess the only thing I can do is set to defend.
We can move the trees, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just move them away. Just aesthetically pleasing.
Nothing here heroics, right?
Nope, only characters.
Stay out of one. Okay. Alright, so I only got one pile in here. Try not to touch your guys. Just down the side, it's half an inch, right? Or what is it, an inch or a half inch for this one?
Sorry.
It's half an inch. Stay out of here. Don't be out of
You
I
have to
don't
be outside of an inch, and then supporting attacks half an inch of a guy within half an inch.
Yeah, I got that. This is all the same squad, right? Okay. Alright, so start with Smite phase 6. Just gonna go through all my CP, I guess. Spend 2 to give him the 6's explode thing. I'm really curious how these Terminators are going to hold up to this. So because it's Gene Stealers and they're 11 or more, it'll be 2 additional hits for on 6. So right now they reroll everything, hitting on 3s, 6 is auto wound, 6 is do 2 extra hits. But I'm wounding on force, so anyways, right, so. So I'll just reroll everything and it's not a 6.
Nice. Very nice.
Very good, yeah. So these are the acid mods, by the way. These are AP3. These are hits. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 additional hits. So these were just hits. So we'll just go in the hit pool. We've got 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, 14. So these will be rolled together as force to wounds. Alright, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 18 wounds.
He's over here. He's up field.
Alright. There's 3 so far. You're still going, right?
Yeah, so this is all the regular weapons.
Okay.
So we'll do this batch first.
Because I get her own shit doesn't work.
Let's try that again. These are out. And then we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 back. 4s again. So we've got 10 AP1s and 2 AP4s.
Here's the ones. That's bad. Oh, that was good. Okay, so there's another the other ones? Is that no AP?
These are this many are more attacks to go.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's way stronger than I remember it being.
Yeah, it's a new. That's the new.
Holy.
Yeah, now they're actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's a reason they made it 2 CP, right? So that one. So these are misses. I'll just reroll all the misses. All the not sixes. Okay. So 2 downs. And we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 extra hits. One, 2. So these are out of wounds. And then now all these on force to wound you. Yeah. Alright, so let's see here. We got 3, 6, 9, 12, 23 AP1s. And then 4 AP4s.
Oh, that was good.
That's good.
Alright, so save. I want to save 2 more of those. So let's I think this one was in there. 5, 8 more. Jesus. 12. Did that kill me? Think about this. I'd already lost 3, so I would have 7 left times 3, 21 wounds. Okay.
So it should be
So not
the
quite.
first one and then 4 on the next one.
No, that was 4 wounds, and I was adding it to. That's why I had this one separate from this one. So it's 4 wounds. So it's okay. Let me just remove 3, and then we'll go from there. Remove these 2, 3, and 12 more wounds worth. So that's 4 more guys. Holy crap! That is insane. Yeah, that was fucking brutal.
They're pretty good now.
Alright, well that happened.
Yeah, so you're pulling out to not fight?
Yeah.
So I will.
Actually, I have a question about that. If I pull out those 2, if I keep 1 here, can you not run back?
Yeah, I can overrun away.
Either way?
Yeah, so you have to stay in.
Oh, no. So if I stay in, though, you can't run out?
I cannot run away.
I'm going to switch it for this the last
Oh, wait, no, I can't run away anyways.
Oh, you can't?
Because I didn't
kill the unit? Okay, then I'll just leave it how it is. Alright.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Man, that's brutal.
So I will. There's only 1 bite though, right?
Yeah. One bike on
These
this side.
guys have 3 attacks apiece. Or how much do they have if I don't charge them?
They're gonna have. They'll still have. Let's see. Ezekiel always gives them the +1, so it's as if you charge me, and then they have 2 base and then a chain sword.
And do you have the your one thing where you have to hold that mission or priority target, whatever your thing is, the Dark Angel one?
Yeah, I do.
Which one was it?
I don't have a command paste yet.
Oh, you need to choose it then.
Yeah.
Okay, so that doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So we'll just touch this guy and you attack.
Sergeant, Countess Sergeant. No, I'm not. It's not my turn, so I have 2 wounds. 3 wounds.
5s and 5s. Oh. Nice. Cool. So that should be the turn.
Are you 24-inch synapse with this?
He's 12 synapse. He's 18, 12 and 12.
So do they need? They don't need leadership yet, but you need to take like way more leadership.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are high leadership.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, that was rough. That was really bad, man. Nice job.
All right, so we just finished up the top of one, and so let's talk about what happened here. Tyler had a unit of Gene Stealers here, which they moved and advanced up to about this point, and then Swarmlord, which is right here, allows them to double move. So they double moved up into this area, and then charged Donovan's Terminators. In my mind, under the old Tyrannid rules, I think probably the best play would have been to use the Gene Stealer double move, maybe with the Hormagaunts or the Termagaunts, and you could have literally just blocked in Donovan's entire army, right? And he only has 2 units that could fly over, right? And then the rest, whatever unit does that move blocking will die, but Donovan couldn't. He'd be on this objective. He definitely could not get to this one, and he probably couldn't even get to this one. So that, I mean, that in an objective-based game, especially one where you have to hold 2 objectives to score any points, would be crippling. You would basically goose Donovan on the primary turn 1. Tyler did do something different, and it was powered mostly by the new Octarius campaign book. So he has extra stratagems from the new book that make the Gene Stealers particularly potent in close combat. So they actually just went and charged straight in to Donovan's unkillable Terminator block, and they killed 7 out of 10. Now on Donovan's turn, he's very likely going to use the Apothecary to bring 1 back. So that's only a net loss of 6 Terminators on the top of 1. But that's big. That takes the effectiveness of that unit way down. That's a core unit in Donovan's game. It's his bully unit. Everything else is actually killable. And the other thing is Tyler has more units and enough CP to just do it again next turn, to slingshot things in and hit him again. So let's go see how Donovan reacts to kind of an unexpectedly high dead number of Terminators on turn 1. I should also say that Tyler used stratagems to move Hormagaunts, a line of Hormagaunts right here, which are going to move block, not all, but a big portion of Donovan's army from getting over to this objective.
So I'm assuming that's your main home thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well. Go on, yeah. Let me do these real quick. Catechism. No good. Plus. We'll do plus 1 to hit. That's good.
I killed 1 model, sir. You killed 1 model.
Back to Doctrine doesn't matter yet. Okay. Let's see here. Reroll hits. Okay. Start with. These have no armor and these don't. Just have
These have
impulse.
6 ups and
I need
impulse,
to do my second phase.
and they have the feeling painting. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. It's a compounding thing.
No problem. So you got 2.
So, what's the reason you rolled 3? You only had 2 mortals.
Oh, I'll just reroll.
Okay.
So you got 2.
Alright, same thing actually. Smite's good for another D3. For 3.
1 dice.
Everything here only has 1 wound though, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And are these also leadership 10?
No, they're not.
Okay. Let's shoot. Let's shoot these into the Gene Stealers. 1, 2, 3, and then a heavy cannon. Here's a heavy cannon.
Yeah.
I did move, but they got +1, so this doesn't hit. 2 wounds. Rolling once. 2 wounds. Gene Stealers. Once, +1 to hit. Okay, so they all hit the regular filters. Roll once again for wounding. 4s, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits. Okay. From there, Azrael's guns, white will be plasma. So I missed this one. 1 plasma wound and 1 regular. They both do 2 damage though.
1 plasma or...
So they're both the same damage, so just try to save both.
Okay, so 1 goes?
Okay, so 2 damage on 1 guy.
Okay, 1 goes.
Ezekiel's pistol. Hits. Doesn't wound. Okay. Let's see. Talon Masters. Let's see the plasma bite guy. Actually, no. We'll do this Talon. Let me see if I see anything else. So this guy's on top, correct? That guy's on the cover?
You were playing these, right?
Yeah, the L.
Yeah, so there's...
So he's not? That's okay. So he's not. Okay. No problem. Alright, so this Talon Master will just dump into here. Assault Cannon first for 12. Ones. Need 3s on this one. This is cocked. Okay, it looks like 4, 7. Heavy bolted. Matters. Need 3s.
How many on that one?
4 at 2 damage. Next.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh my god.
You kill 5 though in the first one. So that's the squad.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, gotta get somewhere. Alright, other Talon Master will just shoot into... Okay, and he's not touching either, right? The big guy?
No. He's just in the terrain.
Well, here's Assault Cannon on these guys.
Yeah.
Talon Master, and again. Wound, need 2s, I think. Can't reroll that. 10 at -2.
10 and minus 2.
Save, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, unfortunately, that's me, man. Oh man, you did so much damage. That was rough.
That's a lot.
That was crazy.
So they're going to go ahead and score up the bottom of turn 1 right now. Donovan killed all of the Gene Stealers, and he killed this unit of Hormagaunts here. I'd have to get up and look. I don't think he was able. I do think he was able to get this one Outrider onto this objective here. So right now Donovan is on 1, 2, and I don't believe anybody's hidden in this building here, but I'm gonna go check. So that's gonna leave Tyler with 1, 2, 3 for at least 10 points on the primary at the beginning of turn 2. And depending on whether or not Donovan has anybody in this building, it might be a 15-point primary turn. And again, Tyler should have more models back here to try and double move and slingshot again if he wants. But Donovan has moved his army farther away. So as I was saying, he deployed up on the line here, which was well within range for the double moving Steelers to get him. This extra 12-ish inches that he's put between him and the Tyranids will make that harder to do again.
Can you have a second? Can you tell me what your objectives were again?
Sorry, what? Oh, yeah.
Or here, just give me the phone. Don't take your time. Go ahead. Stranglehold, assassination. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry? Oh, yeah, sure.
Can you just double check mine too? Because I should have stranglehold.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Scoring for round 1, you had a stranglehold. You already did that. You did a Octarius Data. You already gave yourself that. I don't get anything. The start of round 2. CP. What are you down to on round 2 now? Are you at 5?
Yeah, 5.
So you're at 5 on that. You should have gotten to 15 points. Okay, I think that's right. And then, how do I... Where's my CP? Man points, Tyler. Okay, there it is. That was last turn. When it's my turn, can you also double check it to make sure I got it right? I think I did.
Oh, yeah. I'm finding a CP, by the way.
Okay.
On my start of my turn.
Okay.
To make these guys upset.
Okay.
So. And then obviously I'm going to be double moving them just to take this from me. So those two are.
So what's the... Is that another strat?
The strat. So it's another 1 CP.
Okay.
And then we'll use the full movement. I guess I have to watch out for your bikes now.
Yep, that's true. Very true.
So we're nearing the end of Tyler's movement phase. He's bringing in his reserves at the moment. And looking around at the board, it's a couple of interesting things. So Donovan does not have anybody in this building at all. So he's on 2 objectives. But that means Tyler only needs to come up and contest 1 objective here to 0 Tyler on the primary going into round 2. And it looks like Tyler is moving up some models. He's got some flying rippers that came up here to contest this and take it away from Donovan. So Donovan's looking at a 0 on the primary in turn 2. Tyler's he's playing it a little more conservatively now, but he's got really strong board control. His second unit of Gene Stealers moved up behind these crates where they're not going to be able to be seen and shot. And Donovan's a little too far away to double move out with Swarmlord and charge them from here. But Donovan can't afford to hide back in this area forever, right? Especially because Tyler he has units over here that he can just keep feeding 1 at a time to contest this objective and keep goosing Donovan on the primary. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in a position to charge, anything, 1 at a time. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in a position to charge, anything, 1 at a time. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in a position to charge, anything, 1 at a time. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in a position to charge, anything, 1 at a time. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in a position to charge, anything, 1 at a time. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in a position to charge, anything, 1 at a time. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in a position to charge, anything, 1 at a time. So Donovan's eventually gonna have to come out, and these Gene Stealers and Swarmlord are in anything in this area for sure. For sure. Those would be massively easy charges. He also brought in some rippers and some acolytes over here with the blasting charges. They're hiding behind this building, but those blasting charges, you know, they're able to walk through, and it's very short range shooting, but it's short range, and the stats of it match up pretty well against most of Donovan's army. It's high strength, decent AP, multi-damage shots, which is going to be good against Deathwing and Ravenwing. So, you know, Tyler has threatening guys here, threatening guys here. He's got little units coming up here to come contest this objective, and he has extremely threatening stuff here, which has a very long reach. So Tyler has like really complete board control coming at the end of the top of 2, and we're just gonna have to see how, you know, Donovan's gonna have to try and make some plays. He can't just stand back here. He'll lose terribly on the primary. So let's go back to the players and listen to them and see what Donovan can come up with to break out of this and get back in the game with the primaries.
Start getting ready for. What do you have left in reserve?
Yeah, Carry-ons and 5 of these and a liquid.
Okay. Rounds 5 of those in the winter. I'll be your turn 3, so they have to come in.
Yep.
Are they outflanked? So they have to come in aside?
They can come in around the victor anywhere if I spend a CP.
And the lictor can come in anywhere?
Yes.
That's rough. That's bad. Alright. Let's see. Can't stop that one. These guys are bad in combat, right?
I mean,
Acolytes?
they don't survive, but they can hurt you.
Okay.
They have the same profile as Gene Stealer.
Should probably use it for screening instead. Alright, so these have to die, and then what else can I really shoot at? Poke this way, I might be able to see this guy. And that guy. 36 from there. So you'd be able to hit to here. So 3 inches from there. Here. From here. I'm gonna test something with my base here. Alright. I think I can see this, but not this. Okay. Unfortunately. What am I gonna do? I guess I could bring this guy over to do it. 36 from here. Keep that guy off, basically. Okay.
Who's the guy that's on 2s?
This guy. Yep. That'd be the guy. Get my laser out, just in case I'm wrong. Actually, I can see it. Alright. Well, that part's a little better. Oh, let me do my buff.
Are you guys scoring this as a whole 2 Is it a whole 3 hold? It's a whole 2 hold. Whole 2 hold, 3 hold. Oh, okay. So then. Well, this should automatically do that because we're still putting in. Oh, wait, it says control 2 as a start. So yeah, you wouldn't have any on that one. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. You're all good. You're all good.
This guy can kill probably just bring back the bike up here. These are slower, right?
Yeah, so roll 7 plus d6.
Okay. 7 plus d6. Still pretty fast. 13. Can you charge after that?
If I do the spell, that's about it. And the 7 is because they have adrenal glands, so it's plus 1.
Go this way. 13. Space Marine now still on the side. Just gonna go back to take this. These guys are out.
Attention 48 players, 90 minutes left in the round. 90 minutes.
I'm too busy only killing like 300 points in 2 turns.
And there's nothing in here. You already did that?
Yep.
That part? Okay. I could just use my own board edge, but it's not going to be good yet. This guy's probably just going to get sacrificed to go that way. Right here. What's the range of those devour things?
18.
That come in? And they can be within 3 anywhere of the lictor?
Anywhere within 6 of the lictor.
Within 6?
Yeah.
Even within 9 of me?
Yes. So I can get a band of gods outside of Auspex, if that's what you're wondering.
I'm trying to make it so you can't target him anyway because I'm outside of your thing, and yeah, I forgot about that. So I don't need to screen that as much as I think.
Yep. Should be good there.
As much as I think. I just need to protect these characters. Come back here. This guy's gonna run. This way. That's the back here. Okay. Alright. These gentlemen. Psychic over here.
Yep.
Trepidation. That's good. I think 11 beats your leadership, so 3 flat. And Smite. No good on Smite. So you just take 3 more.
I'm not a synapse, so I think they would die.
Shooting. So these are multi-wound and these are single wound, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So assault cannon and heavy bolter. Here's heavy bolter. It's cocked, unfortunately. That's good. 2 wounds. It's cocked again, I don't know how. Okay. 4 wounds, or 5 wounds on these at -2.
-2. So damage?
2 apiece.
Next one. You said there's 5? Oh my god. Okay. You got a base.
Jeez. Well, that didn't go well somehow.
Yeah.
These T3 or 4?
T3. Everything there's T3.
Juiced. We got 11 on this at -2.
They don't get anything, so. You said 11?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep. Let's see. Do I need the extra movement over here? Maybe.
+1 to these guys.
Okay. Then Salt Cannon that way. -1. These don't count. The Arbiter's Gaze guy. I don't know what their toughness is.
T4.
Okay, so 2 at -2.
-2, so 5. You don't get anything, so it's the Feeling Pains. You said 2?
Yeah, 2 damage each.
2 damage.
6.
That's 2 damage so far, and kill.
These miss. 3, 6, 9, 10. So probably for on them.
AP?
-1.
-1.
That's it for me.
So I already got my damage buffs and stuff all distributed. Basically same as I've always been doing.
Okay, so that's going to be the bottom of 2, and let's talk about what happened here. So most of this stuff up behind this building died. There's a couple of Acolyte models left, which looks like one just got pulled to morale, or maybe one will get pulled to morale in a second here, and the other one might still be there. The Rippers that came up here to contest this objective died, and one of the Venom Thropes back here died. All in all, not a ton, right? There's maybe 150 points worth of stuff that died, and the exchange there is still that Tyler has pretty commanding board position, right? He's going to come in to the top of 3, getting another 15 on the primary, right, which is excellent for him. Donovan is still in a position where this objective could be snuck away from him, which would goose him on the primary again for 2 turns. At the very best, he'll only get 5 on the primary for turn 3. So, you know, none of those things is particularly good for Donovan. And as we see, Tyler here is starting to get aggressive in the top of his 3. Let me roll over the turn here real quick. While Tyler begins moving, he's moving out his second big block of Gene Stealers up to here, and Swarmlord is down behind these crates, so Swarmlord will definitely be in range to double move them again up to probably right here, which puts all of this section of the army in pretty reliable charging range. I want to make some predictions here on how the scoring's gonna go. I think, you know, we're around a little less than halfway through the game. You know, I think the primary is gonna strongly tilt in Tyler's favor. You know, he's got 30 so far. He'll come very close to maxing the primary at 45. You know, Tyler is gonna look at a turn where he got 0, another turn where he got 5 at best, and just he's been so defensive and he's been so backed up here. I don't think that he's gonna be able to come back and win on the primary. I would be surprised if that happens. What's going to be interesting though is I think the secondaries are going to favor the opposite players. So particularly because assassination is going to be really, really hard for Tyler at this point. Donovan is playing so conservatively, and his characters are buried like deep behind this wall of pretty tough Dark Angels stuff. You know, there's a very real chance that Tyler only gets, you know, 3 points out of assassinate, or maybe even none. So he'll do well on retrieve, and he'll do well on stranglehold. But the really low score on assassinate's gonna be rough. On the other hand, to the last is usually a good score for Dark Angels, unless you know, the Terminators get hit again by Gene Stealers, in which case that would be bad. Stubborn Defiance should usually be a decent score, and Raise the Banners. You know, Donovan only has 1 banner up at the moment, but he's still got time to get, you know, definitely like a 10 on this score. So, you know, I think the secondaries might favor Donovan a little bit. The primaries, I think it's a pretty solid prediction at this point that they're going to favor Tyler, and what the net effect of those 2 differences will be, we'll just have to wait wait and see. So I'm going to turn it back to the players as they start their top of 3.
I can't screen too well the bites. Alright. Okay. Let's make it so that if you do, your charge will be harder to get the rest. There's 4 shots, right?
Yeah. Well, and 8 little shots at
Yeah.
-1.
But they're damage 1, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Alright. And then movement.
Score, I'll let you guys.
The question is, do I need to spend CP to get this rod? I don't think so. If I score on your phone.
Yeah.
You got 15 on top 3. Did you know the CP discount is 4 to 7?
Yes, that should be correct.
Yeah. So looks like I only need to spend the CP. So then, if that's the case, do it here. I just want to make it so you just don't shoot me. You can shoot me, spend the CP for this guy, but. That's good. Or a single bite. So, either way. I assume you're not going to?
Huh?
Because you only have 4 shots, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
So that'll just do the rod. Lictor will come in. And he'll go, because I've got these 3 now. And here. Actually, I can use him to screen. Yeah, that's fine. And then at the end of the movement, we will start shooting. I guess the thing is, do we have anything? Oh, we do.
I thought I had put them outside. That's why I had that dice here, so I was surprised you moved that far out.
So they were.
They moved 6, right?
Yeah, they were 6.
Okay, I might just miscalculated.
Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty well in. Like this guy's close, but the rest are like really, really in.
Okay, I just misjudged it.
Yeah.
Not good.
-1 to hit. Oh yeah, and the front guys. So I have 4 CP.
You have 3.
3 CP. Okay. So I think what we'll do then is spend the strat to do this deep strike because you've screened all that like really, really well. So we'll just give up the screen and we'll just do this. So they're all just going to be outside of 12. So within 18. And then, so that'll cost me a CP. Alright. Then we'll go to second. We'll start with Catalyst. Goes on, oh yeah, because it goes off on a +1 on him, so 6. And I don't think you're in range. Right. So we'll put that on the Turbulence. And then we'll do Onslaught. Yeah, we'll do Onslaught. Oh, it doesn't matter because you're -1 already to the force, right? Yeah, so it doesn't matter. And I can't really smite anything, so we'll just move on. Shooting. Do high guard into the guys. -1. No strats here. But I do reroll everything. Oh no, I don't. They reroll. So these guys reroll down.
Do 3 sit at -1?
Oh, three hits. And then reroll damage on these guys. So of course, nothing. There you go.
Oh, thank God.
All right. It doesn't happen every day. All right, you ready for the app on this one? This is the Devil Gaunt, so it's all the 2-up armor safe stuff you're gonna make. I'm sorry, stream.
It's okay.
All right, so we're gonna have 90 shots of these guys. It's just all gonna go into the Terminator.
Okay.
So. And then,
I think maybe this guy can't see.
oh yeah, I was just dropping
Okay.
it. So
Move
it's
him in.
they're gonna die. Okay, so 90 shots. I have 2 CP now, so we'll do 6 as auto explode, so it'll be down to 1.
Oh, it's on your phone, so.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
So every 6 will be additional. Okay. 42 or additional 2 hits. So 42 plus 42. So 84. And then 4s on 4s, but they reroll once. To native reroll. Okay, so 39. 1, so 43, but y'all 2-ups.
Okay, can I do the saves on there?
You can, yes. Yeah, see, it's not so bad.
As it could have been. And I saved 2. So that's 5 damage. Then I'll injure that guy.
All right, and then the D-Stealers move again. So if one touches, they all get a penalty, right?
Sorry?
So if one of them touches the train, all of them get a penalty, right?
No. It's I have to, yeah.
It's per model. Okay.
Well, plus, I'm in the terrain feature, so if you're within 3 of the terrain feature, they get it.
I meant for my movement. That's what I'm saying when I'm moving. So per model.
Oh, yeah.
Whole squad.
Yeah, I think so.
For any of you who are curious why Tyler's moving models around now in the shooting phase, it's because this Gene Stealer unit was strung back to be within range of the Swarm Lord. The Swarm Lord has an ability. It's not even a power. It just happens that you pick a unit within 6 inches in the shooting phase, and they get to move again. So, as we were talking about earlier, that's how these Gene Stealers from here made it all the way across to do turn 1 assaults. And now these Gene Stealers from behind the crates have moved all the way up to this position, and from here, they're within charge range of all of this stuff.
Oh, and Forrest, you get it? Okay. All right. Yeah, just those 2.
Overwatch.
10, 8, we'll make it. So if you can just pull him, put him in a way. That's going around. So. I'll get the dice ready.
So you didn't want, do you want to be within or outside of certain things here?
Yeah, just as many as you can into those 2. So outside of the, because I'm gonna pile into the Talon Masters. So you can come into me if you want to. Heroic. That's heroic, right?
All right, and I'm not going to touch anybody.
Yeah.
So you can move where you want after this. Are these on 25?
They're 28.
These are 28.
Yeah.
They're small.
Just let me know when you're ready. Okay, and then pylons, just get him real close.
You want to touch now or no? Oh, why don't you do this part?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. So I will be touching, because they have how many attacks?
5. With the bonus. Because they're going to get it anyway from Ezekiel.
Okay, so then I will not touch 1 if I can help it. Can't. Probably have to touch that guy. That's probably the limit right here. So these guys will be out, so I might as well just push in. And then just enough to take the point. So that means I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll do the 4 acid moss first. I don't have enough CP to do the crazy stuff that you were seeing. So,
Okay. Where are you going?
these are the first ones are going to be into the.
Some have to go here and some have to go here,
acid
right?
moss are going into the command squad because they have storm shield.
Yeah.
And then 6 is auto booms. Okay, so we have this many AP3s. So 3, 6, 9, 10.
Oh, 10 AP3s?
Yeah, 10 AP3s.
How much damage are these?
Just 1.
Oh, just 1? Take 4 damage.
Okay.
This guy's dead.
Alright, so then we'll do. Regulars into him. Misses, I guess. Yeah, so 3 auto wounds. So we've got 4 AP1s, 3 AP4s.
Okay. Here's the 3 AP4s.
Yeah.
Let's see if I die real quick. Not quite. Oh yeah, no. It's, he already took a wound.
Yeah.
Alright, you good.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So I have 10 left.
So what's the weapon profile on this one?
Those were the best profiles. So these are the regular profiles now. All into that.
Okay. What do you need to wound me though? I'm T5.
So I have to wound you on 5s, but I auto wound on 6s to hit.
Okay. Go ahead. I was just wondering if I should transfer.
Oh no. All straightforward.
Okay.
5, 6, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a few of them out, so I'll just roll these all at the same time then.
40k players, 1 hour left in the round. 1 hour of rating.
Let's see if I can get some auto wins. Alright. These are 81. So you have a 4 penny language, right?
Yeah, so far 8, 12. Fours, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 1 wound left.
Okay. Sounds good.
it twice.
No, I have no CD for that. Yeah, we'll just base, obviously.
Chaplain's attack back. Reroll for the litany he has on. Three wounds, 2 damage.
Save 2. No pain. Nope, 1 dice. Just count up.
So they both have feel no pain, this and this.
So these guys, sorry, no, they have the 5 up. These guys. Oh yeah, I put it on the end of the turn. So
They don't have anything, right?
So I made 2 end rolls, but I didn't make the feel no pains anyways. So just 1 dice.
And then 4 from the Talon Master.
Yep. 4.
Yep.
So 2 or 1 save.
Did you mean to move into them or no?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna move you back just a little bit.
Sure, thank you. So you kill 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. 4 total?
4 total.
Between the 2? Okay. Not available, I guess.
Sorry, your card just kind of.
Alright. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So move it over to me. So I guess I don't hold any again.
So let's summarize the top of 3 again. So the Devourer Gaunts came in here, shot at Terminators, killed 2, I believe, which is seems pretty good for Devourer Gaunts for me. Some more Blaster Charge Acolytes came up here near the cliff, and they retrieved Octarius data. So they didn't contribute much this turn, but they're around, and if they don't get dealt with, those blast charges are potentially, again, that's a threatening profile for Donovan. The big move for the turn was, of course, the Gene Stealers coming up this way, double moving, and then charging to take... You know, it's not even so much about the damage that they did this time around. They killed a couple of command squad Terminators, which is good. But the real issue is that they took this objective away from Donovan, which left him only 1 for this turn. And again, that's not enough to score on the primary for this mission. You have to be holding 2 for the primary. So Donovan now, for his first 2 primary turns, has scored 0. And Tyler has scored 30, which is on the primaries. That's a fairly large deficit to come back from. So Tyler is running out of assets. I think we've seen kind of the high watermark of the Tyranids. So these Gene Stealers will very likely be dead. These Devourer Gaunts will very likely be dead. And Tyler is out of CP. So his damage potential is about to fall off a lot. You know, the only thing he's going to have left is a couple of smites and the Hive Guard, which it's non-trivial. I won't say it's nothing, but he won't have the close combat ability, or even so much the ability to just keep flinging units recklessly up here to contest things. So I think the name of the game for Tyler at this point is to drag out the lead as long as he can. And for Donovan, he's going to have to start making some big plays to come back.
I need to move these guys first. Is anything back to your OPSEC? It's all OPSEC?
It's all OPSEC.
So 42 from here. Does this cover the whole objective? Is this your farthest Hive Guard guy?
42 is going to be... No, this is the farthest.
Okay. So does that cover the objective?
It covers... It's all the way... It's like 6 inches out from the objective.
Okay, so it's definitely... Okay. Not good. I think I lost this one for sure. It's so much damage. Holy crap. 17, if I get It's the only way to maybe get 2. fight when you die too? With those guys up there?
In melee only. It's only on
I'm
3
gonna
of
put
them.
this here because I want to see if I fit through here. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Okay, that's what I want to check. So, move there. Let's see. Shoot this and then charge that. How many dudes are over here? 5. 5? Okay, so you would outnumber me anyway.
I can spend a CP to make damage -1 if you put heavy voltage into it.
We're gonna need to advance to get away. And then that guy's gonna be able to smite. Does he have more than one damaging spell?
More than what?
What are his spells? Does he damage?
He's got a smite, he's got the catalyst.
But no other damage spell?
No other damage spells.
Okay. Alright.
He can like brain burst instead of casting psychic, and it's like 1 to 3 mortal wounds depending on what I roll for every unit within his casting.
Good doctrine to do this. This thing in tactical. Actually, I wonder if I go to. That way I would have better AP. It might be better to do assault. This Telemaster's gonna come farther this way. These guys have to advance. Azrael's gonna have to advance as well. Okay. Back one of those versus bring back more of those. I think I have to do that. This guy's doing normal fallback. This way, so this guy can go inside. I don't know what that 2 was. It might have been from. He's gonna heal this guy at the end of the phase. I'm gonna bring back one of these, and I have to bring in my bikes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what are we gonna do with these damn bikes? Oh no, I need to move these 2. This guy will come here to block this. This guy's not wounded. Okay. So that's his wounds. Alright, so there's a gap back there, right?
Probably,
Back there for me. See if I can kill some of these warriors. I'd like to not be within the 42 of this with your movement, if it's possible. It might not be, but just make sure I'm not within this.
So you'll get 1 here.
Okay.
Because the other 9's right here.
Gotcha. So these are going to have to come in this way, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so if you want to both.
That's fine. So these will. I don't think I can take that away, so. Come in. Maybe I can hit the Lictor. Is the Lictor a character?
No.
No? Okay, so you can deal with stuff. Alright.
Yep.
Let's go on a 10.
Yep.
Are you leadership 10?
No, not this guy.
No, here.
No.
Okay, so take 3 mortals, and then here's the smite. You have to reroll that with command point. So nice. It's a super smite. 4. So 7 total here.
5, right? 3 plus 2. Oh, because it's a super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ouchie.
Yeah. That was good. Too little, too late. That was good. All right. Other shots. This is the important ones over there. All the shots going into you there. Do you want to use anything?
On what?
Here, multi-multis and stuff. No? Okay, here goes. Well, didn't hit very well.
It's on 2s.
Okay.
Just strike A, right?
So I think they'll just go through.
Maybe 4, yep.
Yep. So
Damage.
is either of them within 12? Are they within 12 of you?
Oh, yeah,
It'll
for
be
sure.
just
Yeah,
plus 2. So I think it just kills 2, right?
Well, I have Philippines.
Okay, then it's 5 each for 2 guys. Yep. Start doing small shots.
Nope, 1 just dies. There you go there. Dice.
Oh, nice. Then you got 4 at minus, or 5 at -1 from small shots.
Okay, so I will get 3s on these. Oh, sorry, 4s because you're AP1, right? Nope, so 4 go through.
Okay.
And nope, you got 1.
1 left.
You got 1 more. There's,
Oh,
there's,
1 more.
2
Okay,
left.
gotcha. And then can you tell me what my charge range is for the guy going through the building?
Yeah.
After that. Okay, doing other shots. They'll shoot, I guess here. Not overcharging.
It's a 5.
Okay. 2 wounds. 1 wound on Gene Stealers.
They are fine.
Okay. All right. How many have they taken? Or are they going to have to take morale?
So I lost 7, so yeah, I will.
Okay. And this guy's not synapse, is he?
Nope.
Okay, so are these getting synapsed by somebody?
This guy.
Okay. So that makes him fearless, right?
Yes.
Okay, here are small shots. I'm going to do these into the... 1 into the lictor and 1 here. Okay. So here's into these. Hits. 2s. 2 wins.
5s. 1 dice. Okay. Just pull, you can pull anyone, the farthest one from me. Or you got it.
One wound on the lictor. Does he have a save?
He's got a 4 up. What is it?
-4. It's so melted.
Oh, go for it.
Damage. How bad do I need to kill him? He doesn't do anything, I don't think. Is he infantry to do actions?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna save my CP, I think. Okay, no good. Or 1 damage.
Oh, 1 damage, so I
Yeah,
will get
that was a damage roll, because he didn't have a save,
He
remember?
saves it.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
I feel the pain.
gotcha. Small shots. 2 wounds. 1s. 5 at -1 on these guys.
6s.
Okay.
3 die.
Okay.
So who's not shot?
These mics, Town Masters, and that's it.
Okay, so you're probably just these guys. Alright, keep going.
Okay. So I'll start with this Talon Master here and here. So he's targetable. He's not a character.
Yeah.
Okay. He has 2 wounds left.
He has 4 total. He hasn't taken any
Okay.
yet.
Oh right, you saved it. Never mind. I'm gonna put them all into Storming House. 6, 9, 12. And 2. I think I only missed 1 there. 3, 6, 9, yeah, 11.
This is on.
The terminal goes
There's right 45 minutes left in the round. 45 minutes left.
minus 2.
So, no save. So, return knots, right?
Yeah.
So,
Damage 1.
5s on these guys.
Okay.
So I have 3, 6.
Alright, you got another 4 at -1 for 2 damage apiece.
So while Donovan is finishing his shooting phase, he's doing a fair amount of damage. So there's still right now a couple of Gene Stealers up here, but they might be dead in a moment. There's a couple of acolytes down here that are going to have leadership issues, and this unit here, there's going to be not much remaining if there's anything. The issue though is that coming up on Tyler's turn 4, Tyler for sure will hold 2 objectives. Neither player actually has anything on this one. Tyler has some flying rippers that will move up next turn almost for sure and take it, but they're not on it now. And this top middle objective right now, Tyler has it with Gene Stealers, but they're very likely going to die. So Tyler is only going to get 5 on the primary turn 4, but he's going to be in a position to goose Donovan again with some clever movement. So Donovan will have this objective, and he's going to have Outrider bikes. These Outrider bikes here are about to charge through a gap in the building and likely kill these remaining warriors and take this objective. So Donovan will have 1, 2, but he has to hold them until his turn 4, and neither of those seems super likely, especially because it seems as the shooting's wrapping up that there will be at least a few of these Termagants left who will be able to run down and can either contest here or go contest here, and all of that is going to mean that kind of by the bottom of round 4, the primary is very likely going to be 35-0, and I don't, that doesn't seem like a it seems like an insurmountable gap to come back from, but we'll see. Donovan's trying to make some plays this turn. He's gotten aggressive on this front. He's brought some bikes in, which will slowly start moving up and shooting, and if they don't get shot by Hive Guard, they could by turn 5 make plays for this. And Donovan has the bottom of the turn to try and get 15 in the last round. So as long as he has enough units alive, he'll be able to move freely on the bottom of 5. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to kick it back to the players.
Here's the heavy cannons here. So I'm already taking a -1. You roll 1. Okay, that was good. And 3. No ones to reroll there. 4. Yep, 4.
Okay, 2 die. Just hand me 2 that are not on the eject.
On the back?
Yeah, the 2 back.
There we go. Should put 1 more there. Okay.
Yes. They might live. They might live. This is the last shots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It sure
Alright.
is. Roll 1. Alright. We got another 9 here, -1.
-1 is just 5 ups for filming. So we got 2, 4, 6 die.
Alright, and then those are going to charge those guys. What did you say my charge roll needed to be?
Just a 5.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
You got it. I'll split it there for you.
Okay.
If you want to start attacking.
Sure. I just want to stay back behind for shooting type things, but everyone touch it. That's about it. Missed those. That was a really good roll. And then are you T4?
T4.
Oh, that was a bad roll. Okay.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 at -2.
Yep, and I'm setting to defend for whatever it's worth.
Sure.
If I live. And it's 5?
5 at -2.
Okay, so I will have no hit cover, so 4, 5, 6. And then 5. So no, or no, 6s and 6s. That's damage 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so take 4 damage, so 1 dies, but he's still there.
Okay, gotcha.
And 1 to
Was a charge with these possible? Yes.
yeah, B-roll, that's fine.
Doubt I'm gonna roll a box card. I should have done that one first because it was a box card. Alright.
Okay, so we'll fight you back.
Yep.
On 2. And then on 5, I guess. 2 AP2.
Okay. 1 saved and 1 cocked. 1 cocked. Okay. Is it 1 or 2?
Just 1.
Okay.
Okay, so. And this last guy. Did you have any banners this turn?
No. You knocked it off, remember?
So I have 1 point then for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Alright, round 4. I'm assuming you're done?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, just leadership on these, I guess? Or whoever. It's fine. I mean, you can keep on.
So I need, nope, so 1 run.
Okay.
And then the last one last.
Okay. Do the. How long is
So we'll get the 3 again. So I can't rod, so you stop that. But I can probably do it.
So they're scoring up the bottom of round 3, going into the top of round 4. And there was a leadership check here. There were 2 Gene Stealers left. Tyler failed the leadership check, but then passed the combat attrition check, which actually ends up being a 10-point swing in the game because not only Tyler has won 2 objectives for 5 points, but this third one ends up being 5 points for holding 3, and then 5 more points for holding more because Tyler is on 1, 2 at the moment. So that single, not that it particularly matters. The primary was going in Tyler's favor anyway. But now at the top of 4, Tyler has maxed out his primary score. He cannot get any more primary points. It's completely a matter of holding down Tyler's primary points, which is actually interesting because it would free up things like moving this Malice Scepter off to go take objectives, or moving this off to go take objectives. And some other units like these Rippers moving on, they serve no purpose anymore other than, you know, it is an objective to prevent Donovan from getting more, but that's probably not an issue, especially if Tyler is coming up and, you know, taking 1 or 2 away. So with that, we're headed into the top of round 4.
5 inches, you know, back behind us, right? So I'll be like right about here. And then swarmy, so these guys will have to move. Yeah, command phase, same thing, reroll damage. And I have no more Gene Stealers, so these guys just get reroll hits. And then plus 6s to hit. Auto moves. I mean, put plus, you know, hit on this guy. Who cares? And then plus 1 to hit stays on him. Venom Drops will move. First advanced thing. 4, so 9. So
and your CP and your score unless you're dead.
I just got the primary thing.
Okay, so you're gonna get a CP. Should be at 2.
Yep.
We have the wrong number here. Looks like I spent 1 somewhere, so I'm gonna take me down 1.
Okay. So he'll be there. This guy's gonna move. Just here. Probably have to double move somebody. Oh, Wicker can do it. So he'll move 9. He'll advance. That's 9 plus 5.
Wow, they're fast.
Yeah. So he'll just toe into this -1 to hit and on the objective.
Okay.
And then Magus. Didn't do it. Let's move these guys on. I got turn 1, right? That's his turn 4, though?
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a shoot him. And then, just as long as they're on the objective. Do I need to move to shoot that character? I do. This guy's moving here. And then psychic. We'll do smite onto this boy here. It's 9.
That's not over you, right?
I think it was. Try it one time. I'm right here.
Nope.
So smite. So just a simple one. So that's one. And then he will catalyst. This goes off on 9. Put it on. Put it on himself, I guess. No, put it on someone.
What's the range? Like 18?
18.
Okay, you're good.
And then we'll do. I don't think I have any ranges to smite, right? No. So we'll just go on to. Yeah, let's go on shooting. So first off, we'll do the move we were talking about. Don't move these guys. Oh, wait. What am I doing? I can't rock after the freaking. I don't get it. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't think about
I was
that
like
either.
thinking all this crazy play. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. And no, I can't do it. Okay.
Well, either way, you wouldn't have it then.
Yes.
This
Yeah, I won't get it. I won't get it. So I'll just move him. Just obscure him, I guess.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And then, all right. So Gene's still there. He'll just stay there. He's lucky to be alive.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked. It happens.
And we will shoot. So we'll shoot the hive guard. We'll just put one more psychic spell. We'll do onslaught onto the hive guard because they did move. That will go off. So they won't have the penalty. We'll shoot at Talmasters. They have an animal save. What's a 4?
They don't.
Will they get a 4 from
It's a spell. No, they don't.
Oh, they
it's
don't?
bikers or infantry.
All right, we'll spend one of our 2 to make the 6s explode.
Okay. What are you shooting at?
Wait, do I have 2 CP or 1?
I think
it's 2 because I had 1 going to 2.
Yeah.
So instead of the exploding 6s, I'll do save it for the shoot twice. So
Okay,
let's
so just not spending any right
not
now?
spending it. But I reroll everything.
So, again, who are you shooting?
There's one of the Talon Masters, that 2-up guy.
Well, I should be protected by
Oh, they're also
their characters. No, they're characters, though. I mean, I have more models.
Yeah, I
closer,
forgot.
right?
They're the special speeder guys. So we'll just shoot the Terminators.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's good.
Holy crap.
All right, so 3 of them are AP3, and then 6 are AP2.
Alright, here's the AP3. That's one. And then how many other?
6 more AP2.
Okay, that was better.
them all?
One.
Oh,
No, I missed this one.
Alright, so I reroll damage, so we'll start with the first one. It's 3. Tail paints.
Nope.
One guy. Second one, 2. Reroll. 3. There you go. And the next one. 2 more, I'll keep it.
Oh, okay. So he's down to 1. You kill one, and that one's down to 1.
Okay. And we'll shoot twice.
Okay.
And I guess we'll have to do the same thing. Right. Force. So 2 AP3 and 3 to 6.
Oh, that one doesn't hurt.
5 AP2.
Alright, here's the good ones. Press 1. How many?
Fight 1.
Come on. Save.
So 4 total?
Yep.
First one, I'll keep it. So I got 1 wound, right?
Yep. I think I'm gonna. I have so many CP. I'm gonna reroll one myself. Sure. You can keep that. Okay, here's that. Good.
Okay, so I'll see if I get that.
Just one down.
No.
Okay, and then the feel no pains on those 2 that you were talking about. Okay, so that guy's dead.
So I have
take 'em
1
off
more
now.
or 2 more? 2 more.
I saved 1, so remove 1 from the pool that you
Yeah,
had.
so 4 total, so -1, so 3. Reroll. 2.
Nope.
And then next one, 3 on that one.
Yep.
Okay, last one, 3 more.
Holy moly. Okay. Thanks.
So, 2 left.
Yeah.
Alright. So these guys will shoot your pikes. On force. No rerolls.
Where's this?
Turn around to these guys.
Well,
Oh,
we're in
sorry.
combat.
I forgot he was. Never mind. Forget this.
Okay.
I don't want to fall back. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can. So.
Oh, he's wrapped. There you go. So yeah, we'll just go into the charge. Okay. So this guy, obviously. He's good. Right. And then that will be all, sir. Okay. So go attack.
So over there, I'm going to transhuman.
You got it. Very good. So 4 is rerolling once. Okay. And then force.
Attention.
3 AP3s.
Kidding me.
30 minutes left in the round.
3. So D6 each. 5. And 5. And 5.
You're kidding me.
Oh, that was bad luck, buddy. Sorry about that one.
So bad.
Sorry about that one.
Yeah, that's a lot of things happening. Alright.
4-2. And then
I think that's about it
that's
there.
it. That's my turn. So
Alright, so what can I do? Just keep scoring this, I guess. And it's gonna be game. There's no
All right, so top of 4. What happened was the shooting from the Hive Guard, which have moved up to this position here. They double shot and killed most of the rest of the Terminators. Then the Maleceptor and the Tyranid Prime charged over here and killed these Outriders, which again, Tyler's in a insurmountable lead at this point. But what this did was, again, it took Donovan down to just 1 objective, so it goosed him again on the primary. So Donovan's highest possible primary score is 15 at this point. If he can get that at the bottom of turn 5, which seems unlikely at this point. Donovan has been talking for about a turn and a half now that, like, he understands the direction that this game was headed. I think he's playing at this point just to see how many points he can get out of this. One of the things that has surprised me is, I said a few rounds ago that the primary score was going to be really lopsided in Tyler's favor. It looks like the secondary score is going to be really lopsided in Tyler's favor too. Donovan never got away from these 2 objectives, and Tyler kept coming in and contesting them and taking away his banners. So Donovan's going to have a very low banners score. He's going to have a pretty low stubborn defiance score. And his to the last, he might come in at around 10 points. If those Terminators get wiped, that'll be 5 of the points. And then his, I believe his 2 other characters will likely still be alive. But that's still going to be a pretty massive win on Tyler for the secondaries, combined with a massive win for Tyler on the primaries. And so this one This one's going to go to Tyler in a fairly commanding fashion. It's just at this point a matter of what Donovan can get for basically tiebreakers in, say, the 4th through 2nd place scores.
This guy also turbo move, so he's going to move 20 to here. This guy's going to move to here to shoot. This guy has 1 left. Okay, so I can't psychic because he's racing a banner. So I'm going to heal this, bring back a Terminator here. And then I'm going to do some shooting. I'm going to shoot these guys off with the Talon Master. Here's the heavy bolters. T3 probably.
On the what?
5 at -1 here. No cover as well.
Oh, no cover?
Yeah. Just 2 damage apiece.
Yeah. Yeah, so 6 ups.
Okay.
So it takes 1 so far.
Okay.
And takes 2 more, so 1 dice.
It was 5 total.
Okay, so 1 takes a move in addition.
Well, aren't they only 4 wounds?
No 3.
Oh, then you're good. Yeah, just 2 wounds apiece. Okay. So I'll do the regular shots. 5, 6, 5, 6. I did not remember to chapter measure this. So I won't do it. Then I think I just need 2s on this one. Though.
Yeah, you're probably fine. What is it? 10?
10 at -1.
55. Nope. Nope.
Okay. What else can I do? He advanced. What can he shoot? I guess he'll just pick this off. Heavy bolter real quick. Hang on. Oh no, not 2s. You're in a forest. Do 3 wounds. You're at 2 damage apiece if it matters. And the other thing that matters is I kill that dude in there. So here's the heavy melt doesn't do it. I'll put everything into him because I have to kill him. Oh my goodness. Alright, so only 2 hit. They both wound though.
Okay.
You have a save into that -4. They're melt us.
No, just a feeling. Okay. Damage?
So it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. A lot of damage, I guess. Alright. So I only have that. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do what I want to do. I'm not gonna get there. Let's see. This next turn that's starting is turn 5, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna get another 10 points for hold 1, hold 2. Oh no, it's 5 points,
5.
right? Okay, so you're gonna get 5 points. Then my turn will start, the last turn, and all I can do is basically I can't kill anything for points. So all I can do is raise a banner here. So I'm not in range to raise any other banners. You see what I'm saying? So that's it.
But you will get 2, 3, and more though on your last turn.
Yeah, I'll get 15 on the last one, but it's a pretty shit primary.
And then you get your 15, right? Because I didn't kill any while we stand.
Yeah, that's true. That part's true.
I tried real hard, man.
No, I mean you did really good. I mean look what happened. Like I got fucking destroyed.
And then the banners.
So they do count at the end of the game as well. So
you
it's
can
gonna
raise
be
any, can you raise any on 5?
yeah. So it'll be 3.
So you can raise 3 more.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I will not get rod because I'm not allowed to do that now, right?
Right.
So
Yeah. All you can do is take saves and morale.
okay. Yeah. So that's it then.
Yeah. Hey, good game.
Good game.
All right there. So we just saw the handshake. Again, the players were on the clock, and Tyler actually clocked out in about the end of round 4. But that is not an automatic loss in our game. What that means is you basically go completely passive. You can't do any more voluntary actions. And Tyler had all of round 5 to just kind of, or excuse me, Donovan had all of round 5 to do whatever he wanted, and he just didn't have enough assets left, and the points gap was insurmountable at that point. So we've got a final score of 65 to 38 in favor of Tyler with Forces of the Hive Mind. That's going to make him 5-0 and the winner for our GT this weekend. Let's give the players just a second to kind of pack up and get settled, and then I'll get Tyler and Donovan over here to chat for just a minute.
I mean, I definitely have more screening with the sisters. Or at least the Repentia, if I spend them, it's like, I'm just going to trade up if you move. Or not trade up, maybe, into Gene Stealers, but if you spend CP as well to make it work, then I'm trading up.
Yeah.
Because they're cheap.
Well, the problem is I'm never gonna charge Zephyr or whatever the Repentia.
Repentia, yeah. That's true.
Congratulations. Yeah. Can talk on the stream for this? No. Nobody's watching.
You can shame me in front of my girlfriend. You should do that.
Well, all right, everybody. Here we have Tyler with us, our Forces of the Hive Mind player and winner of the inaugural Ocotillo Onslaught.
No idea how. No idea how.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
So you won with a faction that most people think is not very good.
They're good now.
So tell us what's changed with the Octarius book and what you're doing different than Tyranid lists we've seen before, because you don't have any Kraken. You don't, like, you're taking Maliceptors and Venom Thropes. Those are terrible. At least that's what I've been told.
Historically, yes.
Yeah. So what's different now, and how have you tweaked your list in response to the new rules?
So I don't need Kronos or Kraken anymore because the cool thing is Leviathan is the new High Fleet. So I really need to, at the start of every turn, I can make any unit of my army a different High Fleet. So, like, if I want that speed, I can just make a Kraken. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, if I have Gene Stealers and I do that once a game, it's usually going to trade up pretty well. And also, they have all these new strats, strat support and relics, which are much better than anything. I'm actually taking relics and spoiler trait. I have a lot of flexibility. I can redeploy multiple units, put them into reserves for free, something we didn't have before. I get chapter master rerolls, so full rerolls to hit on a unit. Obviously, that's amazing, especially with the new strat. Probably our best strat. I hope it does work. So we basically get Tesla in melee. And
yeah.
It's literally insane. So, like, every hit is 2 hits, so you just reroll everything that's not a 6. And on those Gene Stealers, like, I had never charged Terminators before, and I wasn't sure. I played Donovan a lot of times, and I always bounced off with his big brick, right? And I killed 7 on that first charge, fighting twice, of course. But, you put the 6s to hit auto wound, and you've got, 100 hits. You're going to get 30 auto wounds right off the bat. That's already a lot of it.
So I have a Tyranid army myself, and I'm used to the Gene Stealers going up and not being able to kill 7 Primaris Marines, right? And going in and doing that kind of damage to the Dark Angels Terminators shocked me.
Right.
I did not expect that. I thought the plan for you was going to be to double move something and just move block. But instead you went up and killed, several hundred points worth of guys.
So I did double move the Gaunts on turn 1 as well. I wanted to get his entire, because he wanted to camp the middle in the forest.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to just keep as long as I could and just kind of steal points away. Because it's a whole 2-hold mill, right? So it's almost impossible. Obviously, I was able to keep him to a 0 until the very last turn when I ran out of time.
Yeah. You ran out of time, and also going second, it's hard to not give people at least 10 points on that final turn, right?
It is, yeah. So, but no, Donovan's an amazing player, and I'm just really happy I finally beat him.
Awesome.
Because I have a very big losing record to this guy.
Yeah.
So
we beat him on the big stage as well, right? So
I was trying not to think about that.
Yeah. Big stage being a relative term. So anyway, well, anything else you'd like to say about the game?
No, it was an amazing event. I'm glad I came. It's my first GT, actually.
Where are you from?
I've been here my whole life.
Local? This is your first time out for a GT?
Yes.
Well, I hope to see you out lots more. Donovan just joined Smite Club recently.
Oh, I know.
We're a big open team.
He likes
You
to
should
gloat
think
about
about. I mean, you just beat all the good Smite Club players were here this weekend.
Not all of them. I didn't get to play Admix. There is a caveat to this.
Sure.
I would lose to that list. So, but I'll take it. Let's win. So,
Well, congratulations, buddy.
Yeah,
It was
thank
nice
you.
meeting you. And hopefully we'll see you around a lot more.
Sure will.
All right.
See you guys.
Take care. Donovan, you want to talk? All right. Let's get Donovan back. So, hey, Donovan. So, rough loss.
Yeah.
But What do you think? You hate to boil games down to the first turn roll. What do you think that would have done different?
I think first turn does matter a lot, but it's also my error for not knowing the new things that Tyranids have, and Gene Stealers are way stronger than me. I did not see them blowing through that many Terminators.
Yeah.
Even like on top of Feel No Pain and 4 up wound.
Yeah.
That was real rough. So I didn't expect that. That literally put me on the back foot where I had to run, even moving my stubborn defiance objective. That was so rough.
So at what point, when you're running away and you realize that you're starting to drop behind on the mission, at what point do you go, this is a losing strategy and I might have to do something stupid that seems stupid, but it's my only potential out to win the game?
So based on the secondaries I took, though, it doesn't really reward me for even trying to move out to grab certain ones, except for banners. But since the Hive Guard are double shooting back there, I'm never going to get infantry. I mean, I barely had any Terminators left to begin with. So the other two that I was trying to get on the last couple turns, I just didn't have them meant to get there with him shooting me.
Cool. Yeah. Anything? So, any tactical decisions, any key turning points for you that you think you'd like to do differently? So
I ended the game with like 4 or 5 CP. That's bad.
Yeah.
So there's been more of that. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of the time, so my res is free, and any times that he hit a bike, none of them survived, and I couldn't do anything tricky like swing and then run to go catch another objective with OBSEC.
Sure.
So he was just literally killing everything that he touched. So I kind of couldn't use some of the CP the way I wanted to. And I think I even transhuman on the bikes. They still all went down. The big guy at the end did. They all have 4 wounds, and he rolled a 5 for every one of the damages. So it literally just killed that whole squad. That would have gotten me more points.
Yeah.
So I was pretty behind as it is. I would say that my biggest mistake was deployment, not knowing how strong the Gene Stealers. I still played fairly far back, and they didn't even all get to swing, and they still did that much damage.
Well, it's funny that you say that. If you ever go back and rewatch this, I was talking about your deployment, and I noted that you deployed almost immediately across from it. And I was like, those Gene Stealers could easily hit that, like everything that was there. And I thought that Tyler would do that because in my mind, I was also the old Gene Stealers, which you might have killed like a Terminator.
Yeah,
and then
well,
died.
like maybe like 3, but not 7.
Yeah.
That was definitely a big surprise for me and a big learning moment. I played Tyler in several championships. Great player, like very new too. Props to him, like coming in and doing so well. And
yeah. So, it's not. I mean, there's people here who regularly travel. This is this is not an easy field. I know.
For sure.
Our Smite Club team, our A team, did very well at the Las Vegas team tournament about a month ago, and all of those guys are here.
Right, and so, I had to play Dan, Don, and Aaron, 3 people from the A team to get here.
That's a rough schedule.
Then I also played Strum, who I think Thousand Sons are also good into Dark Angels because of all the smites. So hard getting here, and then I kind of blew it there. So not knowing what I was.
Well, that means you have to come back next time and try again.
True. No, I always will.
All right.
Always a
pleasure seeing you again.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for playing on the stream.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll see you later.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
So for everyone who's watching, that's going to wrap it up for us. We appreciate your time and being here. If you were watching this live, it's over. We're all done. We're going to hand the trophy to Tyler in a few minutes here and pack up. If you're watching this on the playback, on the recording, all the other rounds are available in the playlist with this one. Please go check them out. If you like what we're doing, the best way you can help us is to subscribe, hit the alert button so you'll see when we post new videos, and comment, like videos. That's how we get discovered and known. If you have suggestions for how we can improve, we're all still kind of new to the streaming game, trying to get better. We take all that constructive feedback as well. So that's going to be it for me. We're going to sign off, and thank you all for watching the Ocotillo Onslaught 2021.